Okay, so let's see if a film like CODA, something I had no expectations for, was able to hold me.
All that I need to get by.
Okay, so CODA, like I said in the beginning, had no expectations for this, went in pretty much blind. Definitely had a certain cast member who I very much dislike, so really didn't think this was going to be that good, but it is, however, the latest film coming up on Apple TV Plus. So I kind of wanted to see how things were going over there, seeing as how I'm somebody who doesn't have a subscription yet. So I checked it out. So CODA stands for Child of Deaf Affiliation, I believe, and this movie follows Ruby Rossi, who's a character whose family is deaf, but she is not, and she has to deal with that throughout the film. Seems like a pretty easy way to make a movie that's going to gain a lot of attraction, but what I loved about this, honestly, is that it didn't take the easy way out. You know, it definitely did a lot more than you might think it will. Definitely zigs where you think it's going to zag. And there are so many creative ideas to really make us feel for this family even more. And I was so impressed by Shion Heater's direction here. It was so good, it was so creative, and this movie is fantastic, everybody. I mean, I'm serious. This movie is powerful as hell, and it was such a surprise. I had no idea this movie was going to be as great as it was. And surprisingly, Eugenio Derbez, who's usually out of control, annoying to me in movies, is actually the standout in this film. He brings the right amount of energy that this movie needs. The most compelling thing about the film is, in such a dark time in our country, this movie keeps a smile on your face like the entire time. It is so joyful to watch and so heartfelt, and you really fall in love with this family. It is so amazing how much I fell in love with them by the end of this movie, to the point where it almost brought me to tears. I felt so blessed being able to watch this film that was just so well intentioned, with so much heart to it, that just makes you smile so much. It was so good. I really think it should be required viewing for everybody right now, just to put shit into fucking perspective and everybody can remember, like, we don't all have to be jerks all the time. There are other things going on. There are people with bigger problems, and they manage to stay positive. And that is one of the messages that I just loved in this movie, is how much these people with such a struggle just manage to stay positive, look on the bright side of things. And we got people complaining in the world about having to wear a mask. I mean, come on. And I'm not trying to get political or whatever, but, you know, it's a movie we really need right now to remind us how small we really are in this world. I was so thrilled with Amelia Jones as the lead, by the way. I mean, she really did bring the charisma that the film needed. Loved her so much, loved watching her performance, and she's somebody I hadn't seen before. This might be her first film, I'm not exactly too sure, but she was perfect casting for this lead. She was clearly dedicated to it, and she has a great singing voice, by the way. Music does play a part in this film. It's not a musical, so don't worry if you don't like musicals. This is definitely something that's accessible to most people, but it is a little overbearing from time to time, the amount that music played a part, just from time to time. But if you could see past that, this is such a good movie. I mean, it's really so phenomenal in a way that it's hard to describe almost. This is one of these things that barely comes around, and it was literally just made to make you happy and to put things into perspective for all of us a little bit. And I think that this is such a powerful film to have right now in this time. And I'm telling you guys, you should really watch it. Everybody out there who is just angry all the time needs to watch this movie, just to put their lives into perspective for them. This is something that is really humbling to watch in a lot of ways. I thought there were so many creative ways that the filmmaker just decided to put us in the shoes of this family. And it's a really creative way every time. You know, it's never something that you expect to happen. Every single moment of this movie is almost unpredictable. There are so many surprises in the film, right when you think it's going to be obvious, it almost fools you into thinking one thing, and then you think something else will happen. You're like, wow, that was different. Thank you. Thank you for not going that usual route that these movies usually do, and just trying new things. And that was another thing I just really admired about Shion Heater's vision here, is she just wanted to try new things. And I think that's something that most filmmakers should just do, when making something along these lines, is just do it differently. Don't show me the same movie that I saw about deaf people a year ago, like Sound of Metal. Don't show me Sound of Metal again. I want to see something new, and it really does show us something new. Don't show us the same coming of age story as I saw in American Graffiti and 100 other movies. Show me something new, add some unique creative ideas to it, and this movie does that, and I was so happy to see it, because it's just one of those things that is just so humbling. It's hard to explain how humbling this was to watch, and how much this just made me think about things a little bit differently after I walked out of it. I was like, there are so many things I'm angry about, but this family should be upset, and they're not. They have found ways to find the bright side in life. It doesn't matter what gets thrown at this family. They are constantly trying to stay positive. And it's something that you really do need to see. I'm serious. If you have any anger in your heart at all, just watch this movie and just put yourself into perspective. I'm serious. Marlee Matlin is fantastic as the mom. She does bring a whole new level of heart into it. And also Troy Kotsur is fantastic as the father. He's so funny. This movie is downright hysterical so many times. A lot of it was because of Troy Kotsur's performance. He's really just bringing this whole new sense of levity to it that would have been missing without the way that he was able to express his humor in this film. And he just does a really fantastic job. Daniel Durant as the brother is also very, very good. I was really happy with his performance as well. And yeah, I mean, this movie is just, it's like I said, it's so surprising in so many ways, and it just continues to keep you on your toes as an audience member. It always keeps you guessing. Even when you think you have the answers, sometimes there's just things that happen that really surprise you and throw you for a loop, and you're like happy about it because it was something different than you kind of watch it thinking like, this is going to be one of those movies. I've seen this before. Oh no, I haven't. It's something else will happen that just is surprising. And it constantly is just a reminder of, again, how small we really all are, and we really need to see movies with messages like this that, like I said, not only make us happy, but also give us something to think about, really just give us something to think about for the long term. I was so blessed to watch this movie again. I felt grateful because the director, Shion Heater, at my screening came out beforehand, or had a video message beforehand, and introed the movie, and just seemed very humble as well. And she made me feel very welcome to the screening, and, really didn't seem to understand how great her movie actually was. And like, it was really incredible when you see this really sweet person just come out and intro this movie, who has also clearly dealt with this situation that's in the film. It seems like it's a very personal story to her, and she was just like, I hope you enjoy it, if not. And it was just great to kind of have that attitude toward it, and it's something that she clearly worked hard on and put a lot of her own heart into. And I was, again, I if Shion Heater ever watches this, thank you for this experience so much. I feel very blessed to have watched this. It was really phenomenal and surprising. I did not expect this to floor me as much as it did. There were parts that actually floored me because of their creativity and the amount of effort and thought that were put into it. It was such a great movie, honestly. Thank you. Thank you, Shion Heater, for making this. And Eugenio Derbev, I'm sorry, dude. I've been very critical of you in the past. Do more like this, though. You were phenomenal. He really did bring the right amount of energy. I think he is the standout in the movie, and he's part of the reason that you just want to keep watching it. He keeps the pacing going in so many ways, because right when you think it's about to get slow, Eugenio comes in with this energy that just lifts it right back up, and it's without him, it wouldn't have worked. He knew how to tone it in just the right way. He toned his performance properly. So I'm telling you guys, CODA actually might be a reason to do a free trial for Apple TV Plus. I know a lot of people are probably hesitant on the service. Again, like I said, I don't actually have the service. I was lucky to catch a screening of this, but if you want to sign up for Apple TV Plus, at least do a free trial for CODA. I could see this movie being one of these cult classics that kind of lives on for a long time for people, if enough people go along and see it. It's a really phenomenal film, and I hope you guys do check it out. And that's going to wrap up the review, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit that bell for notifications, and all of that. Thank you so much again for joining. Check out the other shows we have here. The Interact Entertainment Podcast, hosted by myself. Movie Night, hosted by Sammy Ramirez. We're going to be doing the Narnia films coming up next week, starting next week with the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So I'm excited to join her for those as well. And I hope everybody has a great night. Check out CODA. Later.